director that was in charge of the event, he says at the end, he said, "Today I witnessed a miracle." You think about it, if your son or daughter had been shot and killed and you buried them, are you going to go to the gunman's burial a day later and hug his family? I mean, it's just, it's not the natural human thing to do. But that was an example of what this Amish father meant by our deeds. A second thing was that gifts started coming in from around the world, financial gifts. Monday and Tuesday and Wednesday morning, the Amish organized what they call Nickel Mines Accountability Committee of 7 people. I believe 5 were Amish and 2 were local business people, to decide what to do with all the money that was coming already within 2 days. And so they set up a fund, and they decided they would use this fund, the earnings from it, to support families who needed transportation, who needed therapy for their children. At that point, they didn't know what the ongoing medical expenses would be. But they designated a portion of that fund to go to the Roberts family for the education of their children. And that will continue. And so it wasn't just about words, but it was about dollars that they had no idea at that point how much was coming. Guess what? $1.4 million came. And hundreds of teddy bears. I was in the firehouse, and they had offices there filled with teddy bears. They didn't know what to do with them. So what they did was they distributed them to the EMTs across Lancaster County and to ambulance groups and said, you know, here's 30 teddy bears, you know, take them, and when you go out on calls, you got a teddy bear to give to kids or whatever. So, third point here in terms of what's unique about it was that there was this action, and it's not just words. Another element, and it gets into the grieving question you asked a little bit about, was there's not anger here. I asked the people I interviewed, are you angry at Charlie? And one woman said to me, and it's the only one that said she felt anger, she said, well, at the funeral for Naomi Rose, who was a 6-year-old that died, when I saw her in the casket, this woman, Mary Ann, said, she said, I was just filled with anger. She said, not at Charlie, but at the evil of this thing. She said, I was just really angry. But in general, there wasn't anger, but there was pain and suffering and grief. I mean, these are human beings, and they care about their kids as much as we do. And so there was a lot of grieving and pain. I asked one minister, sort of in the context of this anger question, well, what do you think about Charlie's eternal destiny? He said, well, I can only hope for him what I hope for myself, that God would be a gracious judge. Now that's a powerful statement of empathy. I mean, he's putting himself right beside Charlie and said, you know, I hope for him what I hope for myself, that God would be a just and merciful